Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that for you, yeah. Oh, yeah, you can trust me, certainly. Certainly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I should write that down. No, I'll remember. Yeah. Just give me the fucking money, all right? Don't ever trust somebody if they're acting like that when you're talking business with them. It's not smart. Maybe you know that already. Maybe you don't. In case you didn't, you're welcome. So, this right here behind me, you know what it is? This is one of the last Gretsch-related guitars made in this country. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. Anyway, I get a little sentimental when I think about this country. For ample ways of grace. You know, I was in grammar school, I had a teacher. You know what I mean? She just played the piano, and every morning we used to sing the Star Spangled Banner, America the Beautiful, or My Country 'Tis of Thee. Every day we would do it after the flag salute, and things were like, you know what I mean, a lot more peaceful. Back when we let the bullies reign supreme. Think about it. Now the bullies have no outlet. Because we're at school like, don't bully, don't do this, don't do that. Hey, don't tell them that, don't do it. And all the kids are going home like, tell me what the fuck. You know what I mean? Back in our day, like, yeah, you can bully them a little bit. You know what I mean? Make them stronger, right? And it did. We weren't killing motherfuckers in school, right? We were just killing them outside of school. So, let's get back to Gretsch. 1968 is coming around. Fred Gretsch III inherits the company. He sees a writing on the wall. Hey, man, music instruments are, you know what I'm saying? Inch ports, we can't do this. They're in Brooklyn for, many, many years. Think about it, almost 80 years at that point. So, with tears in his eyes, Fred Gretsch Sr., or the third, Fred Gretsch Sr. is long dead. You know what I'm saying? Fred Gretsch III signed a little paper, and the Baldwin organ company gave him a check for, I don't know, a whole bunch of money. So Gretsch went out and bought a boat. I don't know, he bought all kinds of stuff. He's living life large. And a couple of years pass. And like things all of a sudden, you know what I mean, start changing. You know what I mean? The landscapes are changing. He sees, instead of like original looking shit coming out of Orient, he sees like copies of all famous instruments. And he's like, I can do that. So he opens up a little company in Ridgeland, South Carolina. And his partner was Jefferson Davis. No, his partner, I believe, was his future wife, right? And they ran this little company, and they made all kinds of copies of Gibson Doves, really. That's all they did. And they made a couple student guitars, but this happens to be one of them. It's very rare, actually. It's made, as I said, in Ridgeland, South Carolina by Fred Gretsch. This is model number, it looks like it says 8011. It's a Savannah. Looks like it has like early 70s, Matsumoto tuners on there. Those tempo type tuners. And it's a beautiful example. There's nothing really wrong with it. This is a little broken here. We gotta, take the strings off, do a biopsy. There's a couple little, chips and dents in here and there. I see a little dent here. There's a little chip there. But other than that, for a rare instrument, it's pretty much intact. And that makes me happy as somebody who doesn't really like to work a lot, but work enough to stretch out an episode for you for a half hour. So, hey, we got episodes all over the place. So, I'm going to flip you around in a peaceful manner. We're going to look at this old Savannah 8011 or 6011 maybe. 0011. Some kind of, could be 0012. I don't know, but it's not a Dove copy, so it's rare. You know what I mean? 1986, I believe, he married this woman, and together they repurchased the rights to Gretsch, because Baldwin by that time had sold it off to somebody else. And they started, you know what they started doing? Making Gretches again. You know where they were making them? It wasn't in Ridgeland, South Carolina. Korea. Right? And that's Gretsch. They don't make anything in America, really, do they? Maybe. A couple little piddly instruments. I think they're made by Gibson or Fender or somebody else, whoever owns them. Peace be with them. This is a real Gretsch-related instrument, made in this country, down in the Southland, down in Honky Tonk Ville. Flip you around. We're going to fucking talk about it together. like a family should. 1, 2, 3. There it is, man. Makes me sad, man, to know that Gretsch will never be American again. Got a little bit of a problem here. Yes, man. Let me re-glued in there, man. This is like a Dan Electro top, you know what I mean? Fake wood. Like a Dan Electro convertible. So this is like, you know what I mean? A convincing sort of show. But is it real? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's got a bunch of shit inside of it. That's for sure. I'll show you this shit. It's like invisible shit. There's the old stamp. Right? Ridgeland, South Carolina land. Off my land. Painted on dots because it's easy. You know what I mean? Nut's still there. Still got that nut, Charles. Looks good. Looks like the tuners are, you know what I mean, serviceable, right? Luckily, we can mess with the action, right? The old K system, right? Listen to all that shit in there. Like a rain stick. Little nick here. I don't even know if this is real wood, man. It looks like it's wood inside. But maybe it's not. I don't really know. Strange going on. Ugh. We got this little flourish. This is missing. We'll try to dumb it out. Although I have like another one of these bridges. I mean, a couple of them. I got them. New old stock 70s ones. Probably just use the component that's broken. But I like to try to dumb it out so I don't have to do that. We'll see what we can do, Sonny. So I'll see you in the laboratory. We'll try to, you know, there's not too much stuff. This is very heavy. This block is like huge in here. Very, very big. I don't want to see that block, man. It's like huge. The block itself must weigh like 6 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Very, very heavy. It's a hefty instrument. I want to hear what it sounds like. So let's get working on it. In the laboratory. Welcome back to the laboratory. It's like witness protection program on Dateline. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't want you to hear the real voice. He's innocent until proven guilty. So here we are, man. Got a little problem up here. Getting these strings off. I'll get to that in a minute. Talk about some other things first. Definitely some Formica. You know what I'm saying? You can see on the side here, it's like that press board. You know what I'm saying? It's like, looks to be like some kind of like plywood. Like the outside is all fake, and the inside is like a piece of like real cheap wood to give it like a wood look. What it looks like to me, man. So we have this guy here. He is indeed broken, and we can see. Take this guy out. My man has something wedged in there. Looks like it says New Jersey on it, man. It's like a winning lottery ticket from 1974. You see, this is broken. Now I can easily remedy this. I told you a couple weeks ago, the Tempo episode. I got a bunch of these. Take this guy out, right? I can put him right in there. You know what I'm saying? And nobody even know. You know what I'm saying? It looks perfect. It's an old stock. Well, then I lose one of these. Only got a couple of them left. I could probably trick this out using this guy's technology. Maybe even his very own little piece of paper. So I'll put this aside. We'll fish that little, whatever it is, man. Fish that out of there. Take a look at it. A couple other things I want to tell you about before I explain why these strings are still on here. These holes here are like very, very small. I don't know if that was an error, but you can barely get these fucking things out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on here. Make them a little bit wider or something, man. It's some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit. So, I went over everything else. Let's talk about turkey now. Try to get all the strings off. And these things turn. And turn and turn and turn and turn. But it doesn't move, man. Even more like disheartening than that is like, you know, I put a WD-40 on them. The gears are moving. So that means the shaft screw was probably broken off. Rusted and broken off in there. So we're going to have to take these tuners off here. Cut the string out of here. You know what I'm saying? This guy, we're able to get him off the other end. It's disheartening when a project goes awry. It's a little bit more work than you figure it's going to be. Got the nut though, off in good condition. We're going to fix that guy. WD-40, we were able to loosen all the other ones up. They're all seeming to work on this side. So let's try to knock this tuner off. Take a look at it, see if we can start working on that. And then we'll clamp, you know what I mean, that thing that's loose over here. Clamp a loose end, right? And then we'll continue on our way.
And then afterward, he accused me of touching the guitar. He touched me inappropriately. I didn't understand what he was talking about. Peace be with you. What the fuck does that mean?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Won't come out. That'll piss you off, and they all look like they're, you know, working with me. You know what I mean? Upsetting. So we're going to take the cutting wheel and the dream mile, right? And we're going to have to cut a little slash right in the middle here, going this way, because we don't want to get it into this. We don't want to gouge anything. We don't want to mess with it. Tuning key, we got to be real careful. We don't want to get the shakes, man. We want to drink some coffee right now, right? So what we're going to have to do is just basically put a little slice in there, take a slotted screwdriver, and get it out the correct way. You know what I'm saying, man? This is the way it works. I'll show you when we're done. All right, people. So we're able to get it extracted without any damage to the headstock, which is good. I always like to keep a smaller ones of these, you know what I mean? A couple that have been already used in the top there for various different size ones, because it's a little bit better. And these, like, you know what I mean, hard to reach areas, little tiny spaces that you don't want to mess anything up. So that's the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of folks online are telling you, oh, just take a little piece of a rubber band, or, you know, and you put some, you know, adhesive on it. You know, look, you've already messed with it a lot. And if you take a look at these screws, there's a lot of rust, like right around that, where that, you know what I mean, top of the screw meets the actual screw itself. They're just ready. The heads are ready to snap off. Here's the one that we extracted. Look how rusty that was. And that right there, you see that right by the neck there? How that was just ready to snap. And if that snapped off, that would have been a real fucking pain in the ass. We have to drill it out. It would have been cool, man. So that's it, man. You know what I mean? Just extracted that way very carefully. That was almost picture perfect. You know what I'm saying? It is kind of stressful, though. So let's pop this out live. See if it will pop out. Hope it will pop out. It's coming. It's coming. One-handed cameraman. Oh, you can do it. You can do it. All right. So let's take a better gander at this guy and see why it's not spinning around. Let's disassemble it, and I'll give you a report. Let's get it working again. William. All right, so we got the problems pretty much diagnosed. Do we take a look here? Real close to this gear. See this gear? See that tooth right there that I'm pointing at? It's broken off. Right? So you turn this fucking thing. It just doesn't turn the gear, right? Because the tooth is like straight off. You know what I mean? So we're going to have to take that off and find the gear in our box. See if we can disassemble it and figure it out. For this guy, that's not the case. This thing's spinning around. It looks like this inner sort of connector is stripped. And it looks like that this is like seized to the board, sort of. I can just replace this whole strip. I think I have one of these, you know what I mean? But let's just fuck around with it and see if we can't get it going with some spare parts. You know what I mean? We'll replace it, you know what I mean, if need be. All right? Let's see if we can get it all disassembled. All right, so we got it disassembled. Now, it looks like the center one just got somehow disconnected. You know what I mean? So we'll try to reconnect it and see if it works. You know what I mean? See, it's got such a weird sort of groove system in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a weird sort of like strange. Usually it looks like this. You know what I mean? And the ends look like that. You know what I mean? That's how they stick in. I mean, that's generally how it looks, right? But this is like, you know what I mean, unusual. Now, they also have ones that sort of look like a stop sign. You know, so I have a bunch of them in my drawer. I have like hundreds of broken tuners strips in my drawer. I have none of these, man. None of them. Strange, man. Strange stuff. So hopefully we can get that to work.
But if not, we have other things up our sleeve. Now with this, it's not going to work because of that broken tooth, and we know that. So we found another gear. You know, it has the exact same ratio, the same size. You know what I mean? We found another top. Now this top is standard, and it's a little bit different than the other one. It's, I mean, slightly different. I mean, this guy's got both of these holes lined up. This one's got it like, but that's below deck. You know what I'm saying? So no one's gonna even see that. The important part is the top. I mean, the tops look exact, almost like a dead ringer. You know what I'm saying? The exact same. The poles are the exact same height, so there's not going to be any kind of nonsense. You know, it's going to look good. And if that doesn't work out, I have this. You know, from the parts drawer. And I'll just take these two guys off because they're also, you know what I'm saying, the correct size, correct height. You know what I'm saying? And they have the same kind of gear ratio. They're brand new. You know what I mean? But I'm going to try to save this one. Let's see if we can reassemble it somehow. And I'll let you know how I did it. Alright, so we got it up and running again. We actually took the shaft from right here. That was okay. And we put it in the middle because the middle one was kind of stripped. As I originally suspected. This is just what I told you it was going to be. It's a little wobbly on this. It's a tiny bit wobbly, but I put it through the guitar. I mean, it's going to be the E string. It's got the bushing on there. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We had to find a smaller screw. This screw was a little bit too long. This wasn't threaded all the way up. Or something, man. Rusted in there. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it. But it looks like we should be able to get away with this. We didn't have to use this. Put it back in the parts drawer. Parts drawer 6 for tuners. And let's now go back to the guitar and work on getting that thing clamped up. Right? See you there. Alright, so right before we do our clamping, before we get our clamp on, we'll take this over to the shop vac and get this shit out of there, man. I had enough of fucking rodent boxes, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Phil? Let's get this thing cleaned out and then we're going to proceed to clamp. See you in a second. And there it is, man. Hopefully we got it clear of all the rodent remnants. Took it over to shop vac it out like 2 or 3 times. Couldn't get it all clear, man. I thought it was clear and didn't rattle nothing around. And a second later, like the eternal maraca, man. It's like a bullshit moment of my day, man. So after like 5, failed attempts of totally clearing it with the shop vac, I brought it down here. Got a nice thick roll of 3M, you know what I mean, masking tape. Wrapped around 4 fingers and just hung out in the corner here while I rolled it around, you know what I mean. Totally filled up that first tape with all kinds of shit, and then I went to like a little finger one. I didn't have too much left to get. So we got it. You know what I'm saying? I think we cleared it out. Now it's featured on the current issue of Rodent Town and Country Living, the Savannah Condo Complex guitar. Right? For all you rats and rodents. Come one, come all. Come none. So, that's that. We're done talking about the rats and rodents. I think we can move on. Let's get to clamping. This is the major fucking bummer, man. This right here has to be pushed in. Also right here, see that? Needs to be pushed down. You can't really see that well, but it needs to be clamped down. And finally, right over here, that needs to be pushed in. You see that? So these two can be done at the same time. Because we can have a pipe clamp going this way. We can just put like a, you know what I mean, quick grip here. And then we'll do this one last. Pipe clamp this way. We can't cross the clamps, you know what I mean? It's like a ghost busting fucking standard, man. Don't cross the clamps! Can't cross the clamps! So we'll do that, man. We'll do the first clamp. We'll come back at you. We're going to get as much of this wood glue, much as we can into this fucking bottom part here and in here. And then we're going to clamp it up. And like maybe stand it up so all the glue stays in that one area. I see you there. Hey. Vincent. How dare you turn your back to me when I'm talking to you. Turn around, motherfucker. There it is, man. We got it clamped like Miami Steve Lanzak. Nice and flat. We did a good job, man. I'm proud of myself. Just like I said I'd do it. Quick grip and a pipe clamp. We got to lean in against the wall. We pumped a lot of glue into it. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to have all that glue sort of set and settle right where it should be. Got the block coated in a piece of wax paper. wax paper, cleaned out all the spilled out as best we could. We just took a wet pipe cleaner to get out all the spill out real close to the block so we didn't have to struggle with the wax paper too much. Great job. Let's let it set 48 hours.
That's 2 days for you people who don't know how to count. You know what I'm saying? My uncle couldn't read and write. I used to fill out his applications for Social Security, SSI. All right? He could only work 30 hours a week. All right? What do you want to know about my uncle for, motherfucker? 48 hours. Peace it out. See you then.
Alright, so it's been approximately 2 dates. It seems to be dry. It doesn't seem to have any kind of issues with the tissues, man. Unclamp it and see what what hath God wrought. Seems alright. Seems good. Right? Solid, man. This has to be pushed in. Glued and pushed in. Let's clamp that guy right now. We'll try to get a grip going this way. Just for good measure, you know what I'm saying? I see a thorn. So we didn't use the pipe clamp because you push in this side and this side came out. You know what I mean? So I pushed this in slightly, pushed that in slightly, it looked perfect. And I clamped them at the same time as I was sort of like putting pressure on it. It looks good. Looks correct. Hopefully I put enough glue in there. You know what I mean? If not, you know what I mean? Do it again. But this should be the structural key. So let's give it another day. A little time to rest there, Noriega. Then we'll go for round 4. This time I'll let you serve. Psych. Alright, so it's the next day. We can unclomp this. You old clomper. You old clomperson. Let's feel that. Oh, yeah, it feels good. Good. So now, let's clean this thing off. So fucking disgustingly dirty. I mean, since this isn't really wood, I mean, you could probably just use Windex. But I'm going to use the old Dollar Tree furniture polish. Yes, that's the new graphics, folks. Let's talk about that last week. Yellow on yellow. Hey, I can really read that. Let's get this guy nice and clean, nice and shiny. I mean, it's fucking disgustingly abused. At least the neck's real wood. You know what I'm saying? It's really finished. So, let's finish it in a friendly way. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. And that's with Dollar Tree furniture polish. It kind of has like the reminiscence of like an elementary school desk for like a student desk. Remember them desks? Right. That weird sort of Masonite feel. So let's touch this up with a furniture marker here. Here. You know what I mean? Round and about. Right? A couple little places. See a thorn. So I just started touching this up. I want to give you one to grow on. You see this damage here? And you see this damage over here? You know where that's from? One of these fucking things. Remember them? The old-fashioned orthodontic capos. You know what I'm saying? I lost all the paint on my first guitars because of that shit, man. Right there. That's what it's from, man. The orthodontic capo. Let's see when we're all turched up. So now it's all blacked out again. I mean, it's not, you know what I mean, really adds to the value. But it, makes it look a little nicer. So let's continue our little, beautifying project with this guy. Got some paste wax. We're going to use that on the sides, the back of the neck. We're not going to put anything on this. You know why? Because this looks like it was just stamped on. I don't want to. If this definitely has like some kind of mineral spirits on it, it's going to mess that up. So this is shiny enough, right? So we'll put that on everything, and behind the guitar, sides of the guitar. Front of the guitar, I'm going to put some of this beautiful cleaner wax on there. Just get this guy shining brilliantly. It feels so nice and smooth now. Before it felt like all lumpy. It's pretty cool because it doesn't really nick or anything. It's a pretty clever idea. Right? Especially if it's like an early student guitar, like a beater, you know what I'm saying? So let's get a super sheen, super shine. This is sort of like a matte kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's never really going to be genuinely, gleaming. But we can do something on that front. Right? So I'll see you in a second. Alright, so we put some paste wax on the fretboard too. Looking closely at the frets, doesn't look like there's really any play wear on there at all. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just practicing using this capo. But as for the sheening and shining, it's as good as you're going to get on the matte side with the paste wax. And this is as good as you get on the front with the, with the moms. You know what I'm saying? It's Masonite, folks. It's never going to look like a brand new Corvette. So, let's get the last of the wrangling out of the way. Now, we still have to put this guy back on. That's going to be a wrangling moment. Oh! I have all the original screws right here. Now, remember how this screw, we had to put a slot on it to get it out. Well, we're not going to use him again, right? So, I found one in the drawer. It's a number 2, 3/8, something like that. Right? So, we're just use that one instead of this one. This one can get thrown away. Oh, my God. Guitkits throws things away. Let's put that on right now and see in a second. There he is, right at home. And he's 18/8 stainless steel, so he'll last about 6 months longer. So what's missing still? This guy, man. Let's talk about him. Here he is. Needs to be cleaned up, right? But let's talk about 70s nuts. Look how flimsy plastic these were. You know what I mean? I could just crush this in like this. Real cheap. Modern day ones, they're like solid, you know what I'm saying? They're like solid, injected, molded. You know what I mean? Plastic. These are just like a little joke, man. Well, it's still intact. These things are usually missing, broken. So I'm happy about that. I'm going to take a little piece of this magic erase sponge, clean it off real nice. I don't know, water, Windex, something like that. And I'm going to take some crazy glue and just glue it on there, and I'll see you there. All right. So we have a good clamp on there for 5 minutes. Beautiful. It's nice and clean now. Looks like an old celebrity's new teeth. You know what I'm saying? Check out all your old favorite celebrities. They all have new teeth now. Every one of them. Brand new, beautiful teeth. Ringo. You know what I'm saying? Ringo used to look like, he woke up in the morning and like chewed a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Now he's got teeth that look like fucking, like the dentist's pride. Anyway, so we got one more thing to talk about, man. And that's this, Noriega. You're empty inside. So we talked earlier about being a miser, even though we actually have the correct part. So this is how we're going to do it, right? This is what we're going to do. This is the correct screw, the original screw. This is a pan head slotted 1/4" number 2 machine screw. I'm like crazy about hardware. I found a whole drawer of these a couple of years ago at the swap meet. And I was like, I look for hardware, like for screws and stuff at the swap meet, but almost as, voraciously as I do for guitars, man. I'm serious about it. Here's the actual washer that Gretsch was using. You see that? This is a used one out of my thing, so this is like, the exact. Then you can take a look at the screw. Hey, get over here, Tony. Don't be like that in front of my girlfriend. She's going to think something. And this is the same screw they were using over here, too. You know what I'm saying? Only they had nice little finishing washers. Yeah, the finishing washer is like a stomped piece. It's been stomped. It's not cast like all pieces cost. It's very thick. It's heavy. So what we're going to do, our original was held in by this piece of wadded up papers, which I unwadded briefly, and you can't even translate what it was other than something from New Jersey, man. I have no idea what the fuck's going on there. Strange. And I'm just going to stick that right where it should be to give it some level. And then we're just going to fill the whole side with hot glue. Not like crazy, but enough that, you know what I mean, we're going to just stick this through, stick this on there, you know what I mean, and get away with it. We know where it should be. You know what I mean? We're going to make it look like it should. You know what I mean? And the whole cool thing about this guy, right, is that you can peel that right off. It's not going to, especially on an old elementary school desk, gum, anything can be peeled off that. Remember that? So this is a match made in heaven. Hopefully it's going to work out. And look, I get to save this. I get to go. Hopefully I did not misplace that base over the past week. Put it back in the drawer. All right. So I'll see you when that's concluded. See you in a second. Alright, so it was a little bit tricky getting it to, like, you know what I mean? But we got it, so let's not even talk about it anymore. So, we had a bunch of these. I checked them for aesthetics. The original ones, I believe, were white with no dot. I have no white with no dot. Those are, like, you know what I mean? Premium, man. You know what I'm saying? Premium. So, I have to widen the holes, because as you can see, these don't even go all the way down. So we're gonna wait, you know what I mean? With this thing, little rat tail file, we're gonna jack it around a little bit until this guy fits in there comfortably. You know what I'm saying? Comfortably. I'll see you there. Alright, so we got the holes all widened out. And now this peg can easily fit inside all of them. You know what I mean? It's not a struggle. That was a pain in the ass, though. It's a lot harder to get one of these little guys, you know what I mean, through a little piece of Masonite than it is like a piece of spruce. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It was like not all the way drilled out. That's a factory problem, man. I'm gonna call up Fred on his private line. Hey, you got a return policy on this fucking thing? Anyway, so I got a pack of cheapy beepy strings. Generally, I buy these sets off of Amazon. It's like one set of these, one set of coppers, one set of rainbows, and I think it's like, you know, three of three, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a 9-pack. It's like $15. I think I found it on eBay for like 11, or maybe cheaper than that. I don't even know how it was, but it was a little bit cheaper on eBay, man. I was in no rush, you know what I mean? Amazon would have got me the next day. This one got me the next century. So let's string it up, and I'll see you at the Glamour shops. Glamour with a U today, right? Glamour. And there it is. My second grade school desk. I lift it up and there's some GoBots inside. It looks like it's 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? It looks like this shit is like, you know what I mean, was put away the day you got it. And here we are, 50 years later, you know? Okay. And the tuners work incredibly well, considering they were rusted seized for the most part when we got it. It's not bad, right? Feels like an electric neck, like a Dan Electro kind of convertible thing. It really does. Because of this Masonite body. I mean, you're not fooling anybody trying to get that sound, you know what I mean, by lining the inside with like fucking phony birch. Like a little tiny piece of birch. You know what I'm saying? Still sounds like a Ovation or something like that. It doesn't really sound like a wooden instrument. It's got that plastic sort of like, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to Mindhead. Anyway. Here we go, man. Let's listen to it. You know what I'm saying? The model number looks like 602. What does that say? Well, I'll try to read it well, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. 6042. 6042. 6042. All right. Peace be with you. Let's hear it. Now. There it is. Isn't it pretty? Fred Gretsch made Savannah. 6042. I think that's the model number. It looks like it. Might not be. Might be like 3315. Who knows? I like this whole little, you know, K idea with this little slim neck. Probably use a shim up on this side. You know, the action down here is butter. It's like butter in comfortable days, but up here it's a little high. I'm not going up here today, folks. I don't ever go up there, really. That's for, like, you know, advanced people. I won't let Johnny Rock play this if he comes over, you know what I mean? Because what's going on? Anyway, it is what it is. It's cool. We have the ability to put a little shim in, which is a cool thing. I like it. You know what I mean? It sounds like a nice instrument. Now, these cheapy, you know, the gold strings are always like equivalent of like extra light strings. And I like the extra light strings on this instrument. This instrument came, you know what I mean, with very, very thick strings. I mean, the E string was huge. It was like a piano string. You know what I mean? And it was pretty much up to tune for 50 years and in obsolescence. You know what I mean? So it's cool, man. It sounds like a nice little instrument. I mean, not much to say. So, I was thinking about the band Bad Company. I heard that Brian Howe died. Remember, he died during COVID. I thought he died of COVID. He was the second singer of Bad Company. He was originally with Ted Nugent. He wasn't really too remarkable with Ted Nugent. He wasn't really too remarkable with Bad Company, but he kept Bad Company together for all those years where they hated each other. As soon as he you know what I mean, left the band, I mean, Paul Rogers came back and they all love each other again. That's a story of Bad Company, man. What can I say? Paul Rogers had all the hits. He was really a good one. He always one belonged there. Baby, when I think about you, think about love, and I had to live without you, without your love. I would wrap you in the heaven and keep your dying on the way. Feel like making, don't it feel like making love? Feel like making love to you. Paul Rogers, watch those hands, man. Simon Kirk, man. He's the only member that was in the band the whole time. Right? Drummer. Bad Company. Peace be with you. See you later.